Hi folks, winter is coming, it's clear, at least here in Germany. Today I was reading this article that I will put here down below for you guys to read, because it's very advisable to understand what is going on here in Germany. Very central economy in this paradigm in the last let's say 15-20 years, especially until the COVID in 2020, the outbreak of this pandemic, who has changed pretty much everything. There were signs for that change, at least from 2016-17 on. As I remember, I was living here. I live here already for 14 years, and I have seen that with the arrival of 1.5 million immigrants in 2 years. But actually, this article by a German guy who lives he's a journalist and economist, I think, who lives in London, Wolfgang Münchau. Now it starts raining. Well, let's see if I can hold this because I think it's important. Read this article. Actually, he says that the war in Ukraine was not the cause of anything that is happening now in Germany, but it was actually the switching point of what's happening, and it refers a lot of very important things about the role of the German economy, Germany itself, on the present scenario. And he actually points out something that is quite interesting. He refers to the late 60s was crisis here in Germany, middle 80s, just before the reunification, and the beginnings of 2000s, with the problem of the reunification itself, which was not a reunification, something that I have told in other channels. It was the supremacy from the German Federal Republic, GFR, upon the GDR, German Democratic Republic, which actually costed and costs so far for the West a lot of money, between $1 trillion and $2 trillion so far. And I live in the eastern part of Germany. Actually, this is Brandenburg, a state around Berlin area. And he refers all these kind of things, what is happening between East and West Germany. And he actually designs a pretty much pessimistic view of it, that it can come to a point where Germany will, he doesn't say in these words, but he makes it kind of understanding that we can go to a scenario of he makes a comparison with Italy, north and south. He doesn't say quite to Germany to be split in two countries. That's not the case actually, but it's interesting. He doesn't tell this, but Germany itself, the unification of Germany, German Empire back then, isn't the same year or 1 year difference of the Italy with Garibaldi. Garibaldi and here in Germany, Bismarck are contemporary, and the countries are contemporary, the unification of these countries. And in Italy there is the north paying to the south, but even if you put a lot of money into the south, it will disappear because it won't create richness, it won't dynamize economy. So it's kind of what's happening here in Germany, according to Wolfgang Münchau. And this is now turning a problem for many reasons, because in the times of the Cold War, Eastern Germany were pretty much under the influence of Soviet Union, and it actually tied its ties to Russia in various levels, and economically also, and many other fields. So the perception of the Eastern Germans is quite pro-Russian in comparison to the Western Germans. So here in Germany we say the West Germans are the Wessis, for like Wessis would say in English, and the Eastern are the Ossis, like the Easties, let's say it so. And there is now a very this perception is very clear now in the present politics, with the appearance of the AfD in the right side, and the new party in the left side that will be soon also into the mainstream by Sarah Wagenknecht. I have talked about this woman before. Unfortunately, I think in this very particular theme, it won't be possible a real transversal coalition between AfD and Link, or something between extreme right and extreme left that would bring some nationalistic new political formation. That won't be the case, unfortunately. It will come something in the left side, but very apart from this urban liberal outview that now is mainstream on the left side by the Linke, for example. The Linke, the party which Sarah Wagenknecht was a deputy, now will have in the head of the party for the European elections next year. Imagine who? Raketa. Raketa was this woman smuggling Africans into Italy, and she was actually the Italians wanted to bring her to court, and there was Frau Merkel here in Germany who saved her. This woman is now the head of the Linke party that couldn't support too much time to be serious people on the left party. They will now found their own party, but in the left side, not necessarily nationalistic like Sarah Wagenknecht. She's kind of nationalistic. So there is this problem. The new party won't talk with the AfD. They won't agree in much things with the AfD, at least at the beginning. Let's see how it develops everything. But right now the AfD, which in this article he points out very clearly, that was a party founded in the West by German economicists and euro, against the euro, the currency, and against, let's say it, against the Southern Europe. Actually, this party which was founded in the West now is mainstream on the eastern part, because it developed this way since the party was founded in 2011, I think. But with the migrant crisis, it gained momentum in the eastern part, and now with the war in Ukraine, they are quite against the sanctions, which is hitting hard the German economy. And this is the point. He talks about many things, very important things, that Germany, and the last 15 years under the Merkel government, it didn't develop its new technologies, the artificial intelligence, the electric cars, things like that, which the Americans and the Chinese did. And with this war now in Ukraine, the losers are very clearly Europe, especially Germany. And the winners, he doesn't mention, but it's quite obvious, are the Americans and the Chinese. But the Russians, he talks about something, for example, with the trade between Germany and Russia. It fell 76% since 1.5 years ago, since the invasion of Ukraine. 76% less commerce between these two countries that were tightening their ties and links between energy, especially, but many other fields. And he talks about the role of Gerhard Schröder, which was Prime Minister, Chancellor here in Germany until 2005, and the policy from Chancellor Merkel, who didn't change in the core part of the energy between Russia and Germany, which is now Chancellor Merkel is under fire because of that, because now the politicians say that she didn't prevent this dependency on the Russian energy. But the question is, what would you do in her position? Would you want to receive energy that was one of the core reasons of the industrial development? The whole model of the German economy to export, to be the fourth largest economy in the world, being one of the biggest manufacturers of cars, tools, industrial tools, all this kind of industry were based on the gas importation, and the finalization of Nord Stream 2 would double the capacity. For example, would be very important to reinforce auto industry, car industry. And now with the present situation, without Nord Stream 1 and 2, which were actually 4 pipelines, from which 3 are destroyed right now, and the other one is stopped by the sanctions, they killed the model. The model which put Germany as a core player of the world trade chain, the value chain in the world, was very incorporated, but not this was a critic by him that from Merkel didn't develop towards the future of the digitalization, electric cars, all these things. But he says if something happens, something that nobody are thinking about, sometimes like COVID, there was the black swan and things like that. Something happens now, the world economy, for the good reasons. Unless that happens, Germany is quite over. And I think there is where it lays the problem with the two Germanys, East and West. Because one might go to the East, because he says something that the East looks toward East and the West looks toward the West. This is the main, well, this is very symbolic country, Germany, East and West, because it defines where the borders are between Eastern Europe and Western Europe. Eastern Germany right now, if the AfD goes mainstream and takes the power in Saxony, Thuringia, Brandenburg, Saxon-Anhalt, all these states, they will align themselves pretty clearly with the Slovakia. Look at Robert Fico. Look at Viktor Orban. Look at what will happen very likely in the Czech Republic. They will join this group of countries that are, and Austria as well is quite going in this direction, that they don't want to mess with Russia. Russia has a problem with Ukraine. That is not our issue. We are open to help the Ukrainians and to keep working with the Russians in the industrial field, in the energy field, with many things that we have to do together. This is, but in the western part of Germany, the perception is different. The AfD is not so as strong as in the eastern part. And he talks about many things, many dates, many numbers. It's quite very interesting. Actually, this is under a paywall. I don't know if you guys can have access to this article. If you can, please read it. It makes I took some notes for an article. I think I will write an article about this article and other articles that I will cross them and make some assertions, my own assertions about what's going on in Germany. This is my main focus living here in the country now, and seeing before my eyes what is happening is incredible. What about if Trump comes into the power next year in the United States? Maybe Germany then will go more towards Russia, because he points out here some three legs where Germany relied upon last 15 years. One leg at the security level with the West, with NATO, with the United States. The exports, very important to China. Very, very, very important. And there's an article about what's happening between the trade, the Europeans making problems with the Chinese in this point. Very bad. This is another article by Alfredo Jalife Rame, Mexican intellectual. Very, very, very interesting, but I don't know if there's in English. In Spanish there is. And the other leg was Russia, the supply of cheap energy, which enabled all the industrial miracle we have seen in these last 15 years or so. Since Gerhard Schröder, the SPD prime minister here in Germany, He was friends with Putin before Putin arrived into power in 2000. So they have a close relation. They still have a close relation. Gerhard Schröder has already traveled at least 2 times to Russia since the outbreak of the war in between Russia and Ukraine. He went to Moscow 2 times at least, as far as we have been reported on the media, to try to make a deal with look, Putin, what are you doing there? This is not good. Let's see what we can do together. Germany, a lot of things, Europe. And the problem is the reaction by the media here in Germany. They have vilipendiated him from everything you can imagine. Friend of Putin, friends of the KGB, you traitor, everything. They even try to take him legally from the things that he still can do as an ex-prime minister. For example, Gerhard Schröder was invited to the 33rd anniversary of the reunification last weekend in Hamburg. And he went there. And Frau Merkel was invited, of course, but she didn't went. I would like to, I even couldn't find out why she was not going to attend to this very, very symbolic and very high profile, with a lot of politicians, all the ministers, everything, everyone were there, but Frau Merkel didn't go there. But the media was focusing on Gerhard Schröder because nobody wanted to sit near him, so they put him in the church. There was a ceremony, ecumenical ceremony, Protestant, Catholic, and they put him apart, kind of in a side of on the bench on the church, because no one, they claimed, the media claimed, no one wanted to sit near him. But the thing is that he was there, and the media now are firing him so much as they can because he wants peace in Ukraine. Imagine this is crazy. What's happening in this country is crazy, and it shows us how controlled are the media in the Atlanticist system, pro-American, anti-Russian. They don't want Russia and Germany to deal again. And this is one of the questions that he makes here. Right now, at this moment, for the next years, that will be very, very, very difficult to have a relation between these two countries, the two biggest countries in Europe. And it shows clearly why this war was designed. And if anyone has any doubts that this war was made by design and by the Atlanticists that wanted to split Europe, especially Russia and Germany, look at what has said this week or last week in Poland, in Warsaw, the Minister of Defense of the Netherlands. She said clearly that is a good investment, it's a cheap investment to make the Ukrainians fight the Russians, because we are not fighting this war, they are fighting for us. So if they are killed, she didn't say this, but it was the only thing that she had to say to put it more clear. If they die for us, we will pay, easy, cheap, and we get rid of Putin, because this woman thinks that Putin will leave the power because of this war. This is as far as we ever come until here. So dangerous people are in office here in Europe, in different countries. And this is the level. I mean, it's dangerous, very dangerous. Let's see what happened in Ukraine. But here in Germany will play a role, a very important role. But as he says, in in this article. If by some chance there's the possibility to go back to, let's put it so, it doesn't say with these words, but I say it with my words. If this global emergency agenda 2030 from the United Nations, this climate emergency, everything, this change to the green economy, if these things really disappears, as it disappeared the pandemic, the day Putin entered in Ukraine, then we will go back to the old world somehow with gas vehicles, analogic economy, analogic cameras. He points out this in the article. Analogic cameras, tools, gas and fossil moved energy. Then Germany will. He doesn't say so, but I tell Germany will regain all its importance, and it will be done with Russia. It cannot be done otherwise. It will be done with Russia, with the Russian energy, and with European synergies from Lisbon until Vladivostok, or until Moscow, let's say it so. Well, look at this article, and it's important, and let's keep ear positive in my channel. The channel is I will be here informing you about these things, especially from Berlin, which is very central. See you soon, people.